wanted to get on here and try to give you a quick update about how things are going and our next units and how the first unit went and try to let you see what's going on inside this classroom. Okay, so let's hit the high notes first. We have officially finished our first unit. So that means your child has survived Unit 1 in biology, which for most of your kiddos, they are freshmen, and that means they've survived at least one unit of high school. So we're doing okay. I thought you would want to see some of the stats involved in Unit 1. So as far as the exam goes, I gave that test to 116 students by now. That's not the total number I have, but that's as many as could take it up to this point. The number of students that made A's, I had 36% of my kids overall that made an A on the test. So the lowest A, I'm looking at the percentages, the lowest A they could have made was a 92.8% because of how the questions worked out. So that means that 36% of all the students made a 92.8 or above on the exam. That's fantastic. Like, I'm thrilled. The number of students who made B's, 43% of the remaining, actually overall, not even the remaining, overall students made B's. So that means that 79% of all of my kiddos out of 116 either made an A or a B on the test. That's almost 80% that made an A or a B on the test. That's unheard of. So I'm ecstatic. It went well. Honestly, I had very few kids that even asked me about retesting for this first unit, but I thought, okay, we can cover it here either way, right? If you want to retest, which you get, let me see if I can write this down on our handy dandy digital notebook. Okay, so on the policies and syllabus and all of that, it said that you get 3 retests per year, and that's true. So that's not per semester, that's per year. So we have, I think I counted for the kids the other day, there's 6 tests that they can retake as far as time goes. You have enough time for 6, and they can choose up to 3 per school year. So they were smart, actually, these kids. So they asked me to rank the units on level of difficulty so that they could try to plan if they wanted to save their retest for the future, if they wanted to use them now because they made a B and they wanted to make an A. My expert advice is if you made a B, do not retest just to make an A. Let's save a retest for a time when you may accidentally get a C or something. But ultimately, that's up to you and your kiddo and what they want to do. But they only get 3 a year, so choose wisely. I went over the retest policies with them in class. They take it during flex. The higher of the 2 grades goes in, and then I just mark off that they've used one of their retests, and then they have one less, and we move on. What else? I mean, kids seemed really pleased with how they've been doing in class. Our overall class averages vary between an 86% and an 80%, depending on which hour you're in. And part of that's because kiddos have been in quarantine and they haven't been able to turn all their stuff in yet. But other than that, yeah, I mean, a class average that's a B is doing really, really well, honestly. I'm super excited. So far, we've been having a super great year. They've been asking amazing questions. We've had a ton of laughs together. We've talked about some really fun facts. Yeah, they've taught me a lot about them. Hopefully, I've taught them some things. One of my favorite things to say before we leave the classroom for the day is, "Did you learn anything today?" And then usually they shout back at me, "Yes, more than I ever wanted to know." And I'm like, okay, well, I win. So, just a second. You never know when the phone's going to ring and somebody is sick or whatever. Okay, so anyway, we're having a great time in class. We are laughing a lot. We are really enjoying our time with each other. And I love having all my little babies in my room. Our next unit, our unit 2, is on cells. They keep telling me, the children, they keep telling me, I've learned cells since 5th grade. What could you honestly tell me? And I'm like, come on. So we're talking about cells, organelles, and then their functions, but we're also talking about antibiotics and how those work and why they don't work on viruses. We're going to talk about cell membranes and cell transport and how that maintains homeostasis. What else? Cell signaling, so what hormones are actually for in terms of cell communication. We're going to talk about cancer and asexual reproduction of cells and what happens when it goes wrong. So yeah, we've got all kinds of awesome stuff to talk about coming up. So if you have any questions, or if you just wanted to put another face with the name that your kid's probably been shouting that they have a crazy science teacher, it's me. I'm Leah Engel, and it was so nice to get to chat with you guys for a minute. Have a great day.